What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Nathan here with Win with Nathan. Guys, on another video, why do many real estate investors fail, especially newbies, right? Why do noobs fail? It's very simple. Guys, I am a loan officer. I've been a loan officer for several years. My NMLS is 1093321. I've also been a seasoned investor. No, I don't own 100 doors or anything like that. People confuse doors with wise investing, right? So many people want to say you're a seasoned investor or you're experienced once you hit 100 doors or 50 doors or whatever. I don't believe in that, right? Every investor is different. But this morning on the treadmill, I know, on the treadmill, I always like to watch videos. And this morning I was watching a Bigger Pockets, one of their real estate rookie videos. And guys, I watched this video twice because I couldn't believe what they were saying. And they were talking about why many people won't buy this year and telling people how to overcome it. So this video, I'm going to react to it because I think many people come from gurus, coaches, YouTube channels, all emotionally high and ready to go and think they know everything, and many of them fail, right? So on the lending side, what we see on the secondary market, this was an argument I had yesterday with a broker, we're seeing a lot more loan level pricing hits on cash out refis, on low loan amounts, different things. And the reason for that is because there's a lot of hurt in that sector, right? When you have a cash out refi less than 12 months, which is why Fannie, Freddie, and some other people have 12-month seasoning, there's a lot of delinquency. There's a lot of people that thought flipping was easy, thinking, hey, I can buy a house, fix it up, get all my cash back, right? Because they were taught that through these groups. You also see a lot more pain with cash out because a lot of people were for sale for a year, can't do it, so they're trying to collect their cash. And there's a sign of, just like before in the crash and other times, some people will try to cash out, take as much cash, then run because they don't care, right? You see a lot of people who are selling their houses and they're like, hey, I know it appraises for 500,000, but I can't sell it at 450, and then they're trying to refinance it at 500. But it doesn't make sense, right? Why would your house or a lender say, hey, yeah, your place is worth 500, but no one's offering 450? So there's a lot of hurt in there, and a lot of it can be traced back to people who aren't experienced, who aren't well-rounded, well-educated, who thought flipping's easy, investing's easy. And on this video, I'm first going to say that the first host talked about what you need to first do is to be okay with being uncomfortable. He defined growth and said growth by definition is you have to be uncomfortable, right? That's what growth means. I disagree with him. I disagreed with him so much that I Googled, I asked for the definition, and I asked ChatGPT AI, what is the definition of growth? And growth had nothing in there that said you must be uncomfortable to be in growth mode. To grow, you must be uncomfortable. No, grow, simply put, is going from one phase to the next level and always going up, right? It doesn't say you have to be uncomfortable to grow. Now, I think he's confusing with our bodies and muscle, where for our muscles to grow, you must tear down, right, the tissue so it can rebuild. You must tear it down to build, to grow. And that's what a lot of fitness people say. But to grow in a profession, to grow as an individual, to grow as a person, you don't have to always be in a discomfortable mode, right? For me, I bought real estate last year, bought real estate the year before. End of last year, I decided, hey, I'm going into extreme growth mode this coming year. Here's my buy box, right? I made that decision, and I'll get to that in a second. So as he was saying you have to be uncomfortable, he then say the best move you can do is just go make a lowball offer. Do a little due diligence. Go make a lowball offer. You just got to do it. And who cares if they accept it or not? You just got to get used to it. That is dangerous for investors, guys, because here's what's going to happen. A new investor is going to make an offer, lowball offer. They're going to have an agent who is representing them more than likely. There's going to be a seller agent involved as well, more than likely. You're going to make a lowball offer. They're going to negotiate. If they come back and accept your offer, you're going to be so excited because the agents are going to be excited. You're going to feed off that you're probably going to overmiss something, right? You're probably like, oh, great, I got it. I'm excited. I got my first deal. You're going to overlook something, right? A lot of flippers did that. A lot of flippers overlooked it. I spoke to a group coming from Bigger Pockets a year ago. They thought literally they could add a toilet, a half bath, and get all their money back on a flip and a rehab.
You serious?
Right, in a refinance on a burr. Doesn't work that way, guys. So I disagree with just make an offer. He then went on to say, if they don't take it, cool. But here's the thing. What if they countered? If they countered from, let's say, 400, you offered 325, and they countered at 360, you're going to have the seller agent telling the buyer's agent how excited they are. The buyer's agent's going to tell you, hey, I know we didn't get the offer. You're excited. We got it down. This saves you money. It's a great deal. Let's go. You're going to feed off that emotion more than likely, because according to this guy, you're going to feel discomfort and be like, oh, it's okay to be discomfortable because I'm growing. If you're discomfortable in buying a piece of real estate, there's a reason for it. So we move on from that and we go to the other host. She nailed it. She was dead on, right? I couldn't agree more with the host on this. She went and started talking about a buy box, and she said, you need to know your buy box. You need to know your buy box. And I've been talking about this for the longest time. You have to know your buy box. And the only thing is that most investors don't know their buy box, right? They're chasing income. They're not chasing investments. They're not chasing strategy and wealth. They're trying to chase income. So one day they'll be chasing long-term rentals. The next day they'll be chasing flips. The next day they'll be chasing by the room. They'll always be chasing income. So they're not going to be an expert in that field, right? Now, this guy's saying, oh, you're going to buy something and be discomfortable. It's okay. No, it's not okay. Going back to my buy box, guys, I defined a buy box last year, and I said I was going to do 3 of these this year, minimum 3. I closed on all those end of last year. Easy. The reason I was never hesitant in the deal is because I knew my buy box. I said, if it's this, it's a deal. The reason for the buy box is so that you don't get out in emotion. You don't try to force a deal to make sense. You know what your buy box is. It's okay to say no, right? There was one deal brought to me that was just outside my buy box. It was so close, but I was uncomfortable with it because it wasn't my buy box. I turned it down, right? Because when you have your buy box, you do your due diligence and you stick to your execution, discipline, you're going to be very comfortable. Guys, I've never been more comfortable in real estate in my life. And it's because I've defined my buy box. I defined what I want. I'm not going to go chasing after something I don't want, right? You're always going to have coaches and YouTube channels and stuff trying to chase the next niche because they're trying to get views, trying to get people to pay for you. They sell leads, right? They get money off selling leads or courses. They don't get paid or money off you succeeding. So with that, I think she was right, but the whole video kind of it didn't focus on the buy box. It focused on emotion. It focused on not offending people with offers. Guys, if you're offering on a real estate piece of property and that property is a rental and you offer and it insults that person's not a real investor who's selling the home or an investor-friendly agent. Any true investor, the buyer, the buyer's agent, the seller's agent, or the seller, or anyone in the deal, investor, lender, insurance, everything, if they get offended by something in the deal, they're probably not investor friendly, right? Because investors take emotion out. We don't care, right? I spoke with a guy last week who was buying his first short-term rental. He owns other real estate, but he's getting into his first short-term rental. He presented a property for $3 million. We talked about it. Every lender out there and realtor out there, I guarantee you, would be jumping over joy and trying to sell them that property because it's a big paycheck. You know what I did? I simply asked the question, why are you doing this?
Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a mistake. Now number 5. I never wanna hear you say, woo! I want it that way. Oh, chills. Literal chills.
What's your strategy? And then I said, is this part of your buy box? He goes, what's a buy box? I explained what a buy box is. I said, you need to define what your buy box is, because if you don't, you can be fooled by emotion on anything, right? I said, if you have a buy box and your buy box is simply put, I just want to make X cash on cash return, X purchase price, X this, I could go find a property in the middle of Montana and it worked. Do you want to buy there? And he goes, no. I said, you need to define your buy box. Is your buy box just this city in Florida you're looking at? He said, no, we just thought it looked interesting. So what I told him to do is I gave him homework. Yes, I'm a lender, but I also gave him homework. I said, send me your buy box. And he took time. He took 2 days. He defined his buy box, the areas he's looking at, what he's looking for, and all this stuff. So it's okay to tell people you need to know your buy box, because otherwise people will mislead you by saying it's a good deal, right? Like the guy was saying at the beginning, just make an offer. That's not how you win, right? It takes one bad deal, and it could ruin your investing strategy. It can ruin your life. It could hurt you, right? So know your buy box, stick to your buy box. Don't go chasing something else unless you've done your due diligence and know all that. They also tried to compare that, you're comfortable in your job, but yet investing in real estate, you have more control over, you shouldn't be as comfortable. I can't remember how it went, but I disagreed with her, right? In your job, do you have control? You do have control to an extent, but when she's comparing you have more control in real estate, here's my challenge to that. Yes, you can control what you buy in real estate. Yes, you can control who you put in the home, how much you make. In a way, you can always deny people. But you cannot control expenses. You might be thinking you can control some of them to an extent, but what if the pipes go out? Can you control whether or not you have a leaky roof? Can you control whether or not your AC goes out? Can you control a lot of factors? If you go into the niches and you do buy the room, can you control when the city finds out that you're doing a boarding house in the city and they don't allow it and you have to stop doing that? You went and overpaid for a house and you need to make $4,000, now you can only make $2,000. Is that in your control? So I disagreed with how they were saying, like, real estate, you have more control than your job. It all depends on your job. I have every bit of control in my job, right? I can't control what the market does, just like in real estate. But what can I do in real estate that I can't do with my job? How much work I put into it, I'm going to make money and get out of it. Same thing with real estate. What I sell or what I close, I make more money. What I can buy and put a tenant in, I make little money. So guys, working is okay to do while you're investing in real estate. This is why we take emotion out. Yes, I could be fired any day from my job. Yes, I can screw up and get fired, right? Same thing in real estate. I could get fired if I'm doing wholesale or a certain flipping. I can get fired from my partner, right? I could get fired from managing properties, right? So it is a smart strategy if you're a first-time investor. Keep your job, set your buy box, and only make a move when it's in your buy box. The other reason for the buy box is what you want. They talked about how deals won't come to you and fall in your lap. I disagree with them on this 100% as well. If you define your buy box and you tell people your buy box, there's a lady out there who on social media always puts her buy box, look what she's looking for, deals come to her. If you define your buy box and you tell wholesalers at investor meetups, you tell other agents, right, they make it sound like you must find one agent, send you a deal. That's not how investors work, y'all. That's how people looking for primary homes work. But true investors, everybody they know knows they invest in real estate. Everyone they know kind of knows their buy box. My last deal I bought, I never went out looking for it. I never told anyone about it. People just know I like investing in real estate and asked if I could save a deal. I bought a piece of property that way. So I disagree when they say you have to go and create your own deals. If you're a wholesaler, you do. But if you're an investor, as long as you define your buy box, you tell the people, and everyone knows you're looking for that. When a wholesaler, realtor, seller, another lender, anyone knows that, hey, this fits in his buy box, they're going to call you. How much work did you do for that? You just posted it on social media. You just casually talk to people. So guys, if you're a brand new investor, it's okay to not buy when you're in discomfort. It's okay to not buy because you have not yet defined your buy box. It's okay for you to take a step back and partner with someone who is comfortable in doing this stuff and maybe just say, hey, look, can I pay you to learn? Hey, can we partner, use my money, and we partner on this flip because I'm not comfortable. You are. I know what you do. Take my money, pay me a little return, but let me learn. That's okay, right? 2026 is going to be a great year for those investors that define their buy box and stick to it. Guys, my name is Nathan Gort, here with Win with Nathan, NMLS 1093321. If you have any questions, give me a call. But again, be very careful who you listen to on YouTube. Be very careful when people are trying to tell you just go make offers. Be very careful on asking people for advice, before you take their advice, ask them this. Why should I take your advice? How many deals have you done in the last 12 months? Last 6 months? Last 3 months? If they're telling you to go make offers and this is a good real estate investment, ask them why they wouldn't buy it, right? It's going to be the difference between today money and tomorrow money for most people. But if they can't even articulate that, then they're not who you should be listening to. So guys, have a good one. Until next time, stay safe.